Hi everyone, welcome back to yoga here. We're at the Sika Senior Activity Center. Want to welcome everybody, so namaste. All right, we have today Paula, Jerry, Connie, Anna, and Kathy here with us today. So we are going to move right into our third eye chakra yoga, chair yoga here. And the third eye is located right between the brows above the bridge of the nose. If you really want to get to know it, it's also if you take your finger to the back of your occipital, the back of the head where it meets the vertebrae. If you point your finger there and you point your finger from the brows, right directly in between your fingers, the center of the mind is our pineal gland shaped like a very small pine cone. So that is what we're trying to activate here in the third eye, is that clarity inside, that within. Okay, so we're going to come right into our Kalashwara mudra. I had to look down to see what that was called. Let me scoot back just a little bit. You do want to make sure that you're nice and comfortable in your seat. So our Kalashwara mudra is, let's go ahead and just bring palms facing each other. The middle fingers will touch and stay touching. Now you could go ahead and touch the thumb tips if you want as well, if that helps right at first. Then you're going to start bending those fingers, slightly pointing downward. You'll notice that second knuckle where you can start to press the fingers together at that second knuckle. Now I'm going to flip it over to the other side because of course I have my index finger there, which also needs to point down. So once you get those two fingers pointing down, the index fingers that were up are also pointing down at that second knuckle. And you still have those thumbs that are touching together. So when you look at it, at yourself, looking, it's a heart with a crown. So that's what you should be seeing, is a heart with a crown. And then go ahead and just rest it where you find it comfortable. So that can be at the chest area, it could be at the abs. You're looking to just soften the eyes and maybe just roll those shoulders back so that we find the length in the body. You're going to gently drop the chin to find the length in the back of the neck, lifting through the crown of the head, drawing the navel in. Let's start with breath here, inhaling and exhaling through the nose. And as we inhale and exhale through the nose, let's see if we can direct that air and energy right into the third eye space, remembering that it moves through between the brows and deep into the mind to the pineal gland. Let's go ahead and keep breathing through the nose. Our attention's in the third eye space. We're going to bring in our Sankalpa, our intention for this practice today, the words we repeat in our mind and our breath and within our body. I am receptive and open to the infinite possibilities. I am receptive and open to the infinite possibilities. I am receptive and open to the infinite possibilities. And just pause for that moment. Bring it into mind what that actually means for you. Being receptive and open to all the possibilities around you. Sometimes that just means relaxing enough to see those possibilities unfold for us. Let's find one more breath of this. And exhale, gently release your mudra and mantra. I'm going to scoot back here. You might find, so for today, I'm probably going to bring something like a ball or block between our legs. And we'll also be probably using our belt. So those of us at home, if you have a pillow, if you have a towel or tie, that will also work. I'm not going to use it right away. I'm just letting you know some of the things that we're probably going to use today. I'm scooting forward towards the front part of my seat though. We are going to start off with cat and cow. We want to warm up the spine. So let's get nice and grounded, rooting down through our feet, finding our alignment, hands on knees. We're going to start off with that nice exhale, rounding the back, contracting the abs in, navel to spine, chin into chest. As you find an inhale, you're going to allow yourself to hinge forward. Allow the spine to also move forward, expand through the belly, the chest. And And even the gaze, and then take it back to that cat. You can move through this at your own speed and pace with your breath. You're just looking for that beautiful expansion as you arch the back, and that beautiful contraction as we arch the opposite way. Let's go ahead and find a couple more here. One more time. And exhaling. Let's go ahead and inhale, bring those arms all the way up and over, reaching up and over. And then let's go ahead and exhale. We're gonna just lift a leg. See if we can either tap underneath. Remember, if that isn't good, maybe we tap up above here, but we're still sitting nice and tall. You're gonna release down. It's a soft knee. It should be fairly soft here. You're just moving to the other side, whether we're tapping underneath here, the fingers, or we're tapping over the top. So inhale, we're reaching up and lengthening. Exhale, either tapping underneath or over the top, still lifting the leg as best we can. And exhale. We could even tap the leg if that's as close as we get today. And exhale. We'll do this a few more times. Just find the breath where it moves you here. So you want to find the inhales, lengthening and stretching, and those exhales where you're contracting and using the abs as well as the legs. Let's find one more set here. Go ahead and inhale. We're going to pause at the top. Let's interlace those fingers. Bring them behind the head. Remember, if interlacing the fingers somehow hurts the joints in any way, stack the palms. You can still do the same thing. You're just looking to bring it to the back of the head for support. So you can press the back of the head into those hands, open those elbows wide, and release the shoulders. We're going to exhale and just find a twist. Inhale, coming back to center. Exhale, finding that twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. And just notice my feet stayed planted. My legs stayed in the same position. And I'm using my legs by pressing down as I twist and keep the length in my body. Last one here. Inhale, coming back to center. We're going to gently release that. I am going to grab that ball. Remember, those of us at home, I've used pillows from the cushions, from the couch, and all sorts of things you can use at home. You just want it about an inch or two above the knees so that you're using those inner thighs to press in towards each other, which contracts our floor here, our pelvic floor, and lifts that up, which draws the navel in. So it's kind of a chain reaction that happens when we do this. You want to stay nice and planted here in the feet still. We're going to inhale, bring the arms up and over. And then you're going to exhale, release. We're going to inhale, bring one arm up and over. You could either hang onto a chair or you could just have hand on lap. Because we are going to exhale and move towards that opposite direction. Both my feet are pressing down. Let's inhale, take it back up. We're just going to inhale, take it up to neutral. And exhale again back over to the side. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, bring it up. Let's exhale, switch the arms. Either on chair or hand on lap. Inhale, you're going to reach and lengthen up through. And exhale, soften to the side. Inhale, let's take it up. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Let's go ahead and inhale, take both arms up. And exhale, hands come floating down, fingertips to the shoulders. So now we're relaxing the shoulders. Let's go ahead and just bring shoulder circles. So the elbows are making a big circle here. as best as we can. I am moving back, and it's okay if you're moving forward because we will switch this circle. One more time. Maybe paying attention to the breath now. If we forgot, I'm now moving forward. So switching that circle or that rotation for you. Let's see if we can start to engage our breath into this. I notice it takes me a little slower, but we definitely want to pay attention to our movement and where it's coming from and how we feel. And let's exhale, release, bring the palms straight out. Inhale, take it all the way out to the side. I'm pulling back through those thumbs, so I'm spreading through my collarbones, through my chest, staying nice and stable at my feet. We're gonna exhale, cross right arm underneath the left, and go ahead and hug the shoulders, squeeze the arms, squeeze the shoulders up, and then gently release that. We're gonna inhale, open back up. Exhale, let's go ahead and bring left arm underneath right, cross at the elbows, and again, squeeze your shoulders all the way up to the ears, arms are activated, and gently release that, opening back up on an inhale. Our next one, you can stay with that. Exhale again, right arm underneath the left, hinge at the elbows. See if we can't bring maybe the palms closer to each other. And let's inhale, unwind that, and open back up. And you're welcome to stay with option number one. This is option number two, left arm underneath right, palm faces each other, and then open back up. There is option three, the palms face away from each other. It's the full eagle's pose. Right arm underneath the left. You can do any option. I'm gonna stay with option two. So if you do have option two or three, let's go ahead and lift those elbows on this one, just off the chest, and then open back up. Option one, you're still squeezing those shoulders. Let's go ahead and bring left arm underneath right. And again, if you've chosen option 2, 3, you're gonna lift those elbows up off the chest and then gently release out as we open. Last one here, right arm underneath left, choosing your options, taking a breath, gently releasing that, opening back up for an inhale. Let's go ahead and do left arm underneath right. And gently releasing that all the way back open and then releasing down. Now, where we still have this option between our legs, it is an option. So if you get tired of it, you're welcome to bring it in and out throughout the practice. We're gonna actually look down. So let's roll the shoulders back here, really find our alignment. Because we're gonna use our fingers. We're just gonna look down as if we're trying to touch the ground. You can counterbalance with that other arm. Now you're looking down, trying to touch or reach for the ground. And then let's inhale, restack the vertebrae. Nice, all the way back up. And when we exhale, looking down to the other side and trying to reach. Inhale, let's take it all the way back up. Exhale, you're gonna look down, stay stable, press into the soles of the feet. Inhale, restack vertebrae through center. Exhale again, looking down. And inhale, restacking. Let's go ahead and take that blocker ball away. Let's just bring hands to our tops of our legs. Relax ear towards shoulder. Allow the chin to float down across the chest as the head moves forward down. And then allow the head to move all the way over to the opposite shoulder while keeping both shoulders relaxed. You might bring that gaze back forward as that ear settles down towards the shoulder. Let's go ahead and release again the chin forward and down. So we're just stretching the back and sides of the neck as we bring it forward down into that half circle to the side again on the shoulder, and then forward and down. So what you're wanting to do is just move across the chest, relax both shoulders the whole time so that we can bring one ear shoulder and then we can bring it to the opposite ear shoulder. We're going to do this one more time across the chest. And all the way over to the other side. Our gaze remains forward. Let's go ahead and bring it down into the chest. And this time, interlace the fingers and bring it directly over the back of the head, more towards on top, so that you have a little bit of weight to release the elbows. You're going to try and relax the neck as you lengthen through the body now. So if you were rounding through the body, draw those abs in, lift through the chest space, relax the shoulders, relax the elbows, chin is moving down towards the chest. Let's find an inhale where we just open and expand through the chest, through our gaze, through the neck. And we exhale and bring chin into chest, elbows forward, down. Inhale, finding that opening, really trying to expand through your shoulders, chest, and elbows. As we exhale, release. And this is a very good exercise for depression. It opens our heart space. Anything that helps us open that heart space can feel very opening and brightening for us. Inhale, lifting and expanding, and the exhale all the way down, chin into chest. Let's release our hands all the way down as well. And then just bring the head up. Let's look over one shoulder. Now, as we look over one shoulder, we're going to bring the head back to center. So let's take the hands that were on top of our lap and start to hinge forward a little bit. Grab a hold of the knees. We're going to exhale, come forward. And then as we inhale, we're lengthening through those arms. Hang on to those knees. The shoulders kind of pull forward. You're going to look over that opposite shoulder. So you're getting a little more stretch now in the side part of the neck to the shoulder. Let's go ahead and exhale, hinge forward again. And then as we inhale, you're hanging on to knees, shoulders might pull forward a little bit, and you're just looking over that shoulder. Exhale, forward. Inhale, looking over shoulder. We're going to add to this now. Exhale, forward. Inhale, hang on to knees, look over shoulder. But now see if you can tilt the crown or the top part of the head slightly back. Then bring it back to that neutral position. Bring your gaze back forward as you hinge forward. So you're just adding a little bit to this. You're coming back up, look over that shoulder, and when you're ready, maybe tilt the head slightly back. Come back to that neutral point over the shoulder, release back to neutral forward and hinge forward. Let's go ahead and inhale, bring the arms all the way up and over. And we're going to exhale into our forward fold. Inhale, let's find root to rise. So you're just lifting up from that forward fold. And let's exhale, palms together, hands to heart. From there, let's glide our hands to our elbows. Bring our elbows in alignment with our shoulders. From here, as we hang on to the elbows and we have stable feet pressing down, activated legs, let's pull those elbows to one side. My chest, heart, face, and hips all point forward. But I'm pulling those elbows, which is pulling that shoulder, and I'm feeling this mostly in my upper arm here. Now I'm going to look over that shoulder if I can. And after a couple of breaths, let's take the gaze back to neutral. We're just going to simply softly, slowly bring those holding elbows over to the other side. It may feel like your shoulders are twisting, but you're staying pretty much forward facing. You are pulling, though, to that side as you forward face, and then you're going to look over that shoulder. Couple of breaths here. And exhale, gently release that. As we come forward, I'm actually going to come all the way back because we want to get into the hamstrings, into the backs of the legs. This helps us to have strength in back for falls. So we want to strengthen the back of our legs so that we have more of an opportunity to catch ourselves instead of falling. So let's find those knees stacking above the ankles and toes pointing forward. You could grab a hold of a chair. This is what I do to start off with. It's kind of awkward at first. You want to bend at the hip so that your heart comes forward. And when you're ready, you're pressing into those hands at first to really lift you up out of that chair. I'm only a few inches out of the chair. My toes are lifting up because all the weight is coming back to the backs of my legs and the heels. I'm going to go ahead and keep my fingertips just on the chair to let me know that it's still there. Let's take one more breath here. And exhale, soften down to the chair. We're going to inhale and just stretch through those heels, lengthen those arms, lengthen the body, and lengthen the legs. Let's go ahead and point the toes for a moment. And bring it back to dorsiflexion and release back down. We're going to do the same thing. So you're just planting feet. I'm towards the back of the chair so that I have plenty of room to hinge forward and lift up and still feel my chair. From that, let's go ahead and just lift all 10 toes. If you have the opportunity to lift all 10 toes, keeping the balls of the feet and the heels on the ground, you'll really feel this right above the knees doing that. Let's go ahead and slowly release down. This time, starting off with pointing the toes as we lengthen. And exhale, come to warrior two arms as you dorsiflex. And gently release everything down. We're going to come forward again. Inhale, press up. Maybe you bring hands to knees now. Make sure that your knees aren't surpassing your toe tips. It's okay if they come right up to the toe tips, but you're just making sure. And you can always use hands on knees here. Pull those elbows in to lengthen the back. We'll have one more breath. And exhale, soften, release down. And again, let's go ahead and dorsiflex and bring those arms up and over. Exhale, warrior two arms. Spread the legs just a little bit. Let's go ahead and move circles. So just making those big circles with the feet and the opposite direction as well. Exhale, gently release. We're going to take heel toe into some openness here. We want to continue with building those muscles in our legs. So find the knee ankle alignment where the knees point the same direction as our second, third toe, or the same direction as your toes. This time hands are going to come to the front of the seat. This gives us lots of leverage here. We're going to do the same thing. Exhale, bend the elbows flat back. Press your hands into that chair, lifts you up. Now you have a little bit of support with those arms and hands. But you're going to look to one side and just notice the knees. You're going to bring the knee over towards the toes to that one side, starting to bring it over towards the toes, and then come back to center. You're going to look to the other side. Knee tracks towards the toes already. You're going to just bring that knee a little bit closer to the toe tips, and then you're going to track back to center. From center, let's see if we can lift one heel. Release the heel. See if we can lift the opposite heel. Releasing that heel. Let's go ahead and release all the way down. Let's just bring the arms out to T-pose, palms facing down, and then extend through the pointing toes here and dorsiflex as we extend through the heels. Go ahead and gently release that. Now you have the option here once you set up, whether it's hands on chair that you're hinging to, or it could be hands on knees. It's the same concept. You just hinge forward, flat back, and you're pressing into the chair or the knees to just bring yourself up a little bit. With this one, we're just going to start right off with the heel rise. One heel rises. Let's take one full breath. Let's gently release that heel. Rise the opposite heel and take a deep breath. Gently release that heel, release all the way down. This time take hands to the back of the chair. We're going to come into our straddle pose. Let's go ahead and move it into dorsiflexion. So I had pointing toes. Now I have toes towards my nose. And we're going to point the toes away from us one more time and gently release down. We have our last one for these backs of the legs, all these chair poses and variations. Hinging forward. Let's press into that and just pause here for one breath. So just find your alignment, really find your strength, that everything's right in alignment where you would like it. And now let's see if we could just bring up the opposite heel. So the heel we did not start with last time. And you're taking that breath and gently releasing it. We're gonna lift now that other heel. Take a nice deep breath. And gently release that heel. See if you can lift all 10 toes. So now I'm feeling it again right above my knees, lifting those toes. Let's go ahead and release those toes, release the glutes, come all the way down and extend out. I'm pointing my toes. I'm bringing it back to more of a hip width distance apart. I'm going to come into dorsiflexion and reopen. Let's go ahead and exhale, release that. As we release that, we're going to move into more of an extension here. So get nice and stable, find that alignment. Let's go ahead and move into our side angle where one palm just faces up, your elbow supports you, and you want to find alignment first in the spine. Let's go ahead and inhale, bring the opposite arm up, over, and we are going to exhale, reach over, and then let it come forward down. Notice my shoulders are now side by side as I move down, but then when I move back up, I'm now stacking my shoulders all the way up and over. And we're gonna exhale, back down, just trying to get mobility throughout our bodies, spine and shoulders. I like to inhale when it's up and exhale as I come down. We're gonna do 2 more for 5 today. Let's find 1 more here. And just bring that hand all the way over to the other knee, because I'm going to take the other hand to the knee. I'm going to glide forward all the way over to that side. I'm going to just pause here because I have head-heart alignment and I'm trying to find that flat back to glide me through to the other side. So I might come up a little bit on the sides. It helps. I'm feeling length all the way through the torso though. You should feel this in the back and in the sides of the body. All the way through. And we're going to come all the way back to that first side we started on. And then pendulum swing all the way back to that opposite side. Now let's go ahead and move back to center. And this time for our cat-cow. So I'm stabilizing myself here with my hands and my arms are at work. My back is just lengthened. I'm going to inhale to a cow-like or to a cat-like pose. So it's an inhale to the back of my body. Rounding the spine, most difficult. Then let's exhale and just unwind to a flat back. So that's what we're going to do 3 more times. It's an inhale to the cat back. And an exhale, just releasing back to the flat back. Let's do this 2 more times. Inhale. Back of the body. Exhale, releasing. Last one. Inhale, really expand to the back of the body. And exhale forward. And let's inhale, press our way back up. We're going to take it over to the other side. So the other palm faces up, pressing down into that shoulder here. And then start, once you feel like you have that alignment, especially in the spine, I'm nice and open. My shoulders are stacked. I know I'm going to go through that full rotation. Let's go ahead and open up, bring it up like we usually would. And now starts the rotation. We're going to pull that forward. Let the shoulder come forward, down with it. Inhale, you're going to take it all the way back up. Big circles here. Exhale, sweeping it through. We have 3 more. Now you can always take it at your own pace. So it's okay if you're much slower than me. Especially if you're really feeling this in the spine maybe, or the rib cage, the neck. Anywhere you're feeling this, you can always slow down for it. Again, let's go ahead and grab a hold of that knee, other knee, and then just come forward. Inhale, press our way back up. From there, let's go ahead and heel toe, bring it back in. We want to come all the way up and out of our chair. So you're fine to just come forward, lifting up for those that can. Remember those that stay in seats and need to stay seated, just remember the different arm and leg movements that we are making, because you can do that also sitting for the most part for the majority of the stuff. So I'm going to bring this right in front of me because I want to move into a pyramid pose mixed with a high lunge. So remember, you don't have to have a wide stance. The wider your stance is, this is more difficult. So it's okay to be even at this stance, but what I want to make sure of here is we have this hip width distance apart, then our knees are soft. So when I pick up my heel, I'm moving in that alignment back. Notice my feet still stayed the hip width distance apart. That's what's crucial so that I can release my heel. And then I'm going to try and balance right here in the center of my front and back leg. So on the side, it just looks like I did this, kind of a tandem, but not directly behind the other one, so not tandem, I guess. To the side, more like railroad tracks. That's what I want to say. You're on railroad tracks. Toes are pointing forward. Let's go ahead and grab a hold of the chair. Both legs are going to be kind of lengthened here. We're going to start off with bending that front knee forward. Let's try and keep the heel on the ground. Now, if the heel feels like you're not doing much here, I'm gonna wiggle mine back. So I need a little bit more length here. That's not for everybody though. So I wanna get really that stretch into my heel by pulling, by having this length here. Bending my knee forward, I'm really now feeling that into my calf and ankle muscle. From there, we're gonna go ahead and now lengthen a little bit. Now from that length, you choose. We're now in pyramid pose when you have these two legs lengthened. You can bring one arm up and stay stable here. And exhale, bring it down, and I'll move to the other side. So then it's the other arm up. I'm keeping my flat back still, even though I'm hinged forward. Exhale, forward. Another one is maybe bring a hand and another hand to the hip and see if you can balance. So this is a lot to do with balance. That's why I also say you can be here and still come up here. I'm trying to balance between my two legs. So wherever you're at, you're balancing, or you have those hands there and you're taking them up and down with your breath throughout the balance. So we have one more breath here. You're gonna reach it forward if you're not already forward and rebend into that front knee. This is when we're lifting now up on the heel and then resetting it back down, because I do want to get that stretch that I was talking about in the beginning. So we're doing both. And then let's go ahead and lengthen. This time I'm going to stay hinged forward because we're only going to do 2 breaths here. So inhale. If you want to be with me on this, you can bring the arm up. You can also be just stabilizing with the arms, hands on hips, and just trying to find that middle, that neutral ground where you're finding balance. Now let's rebend that front knee. At first, my foot's going to stay on the ground for that nice stretch. Then I'm going to lift that heel so that I'm in my crescent pose or my high lunge, and then release back down. This is our last one for our pyramid. So pyramid comes back. You could do an inhale and an exhale. I'm gonna add another couple of breaths to this like we did in the beginning, just to give us also that support for trying to find balance. So those of us that wanna continue lifting, that's fine, or you can bring one hand back at a time. Find that balance. See if you can balance right here. And it's just one more breath of balance. Bring hands back forward. Rebend that knee, getting the stretch in the back of the leg. And then let's lift the heel for that crescent pose. Just gently release down because we do want to just sweep it forward here. It was a lot on one leg, I know. So just walk it out. A lot of balance, a lot of stretch, and a lot of strength here. Now, we're going to take the opposite leg. Remember, we're hip width distance apart. Lift that heel, draw back as far as that you are comfortable, remembering that it is challenging to be further apart. Notice that all your toes are going to point forward like you're standing on railroad tracks, so they match your hip distance. From here, you can have hands on that chair for balance, right, to start off with. Let's go ahead and bend that knee. I'm going to start off with the stretch in the back of my leg and the back of my heel. So I'm pressing that down. And then I'm going to lift up for my crescent pose. And then I'm going to exhale, release back down so I can lengthen through that front leg and come into pyramid. This is when I'm going to find balance. We'll start off again with inhaling, lifting one arm. And just remember, these are all options that you can take and stay with. You don't have to move with me through the next challenge. So each inhale, you're just bringing up an arm and exhaling down. You could stay there, or you can bring up the next challenge, which would be hands on hips, and trying to find that length from all the way up through the crown of your head where you're balancing between the two legs. I like to find a drishti point to help me focus. And let's go ahead and rebend that knee. You're bringing hands back forward, stretching into the back of the heel since it's already grounded. Let's go ahead and inhale, lift it up. And exhale, bring it back down. Lengthen through that front leg, back into pyramid. Inhale, lifting up. This time I'm only going to take the 2 breaths. Exhale, bring it down. So you decide whether you're on the hips or you're bringing those arms up. And exhale, bring it back down. Let's go ahead and rebend that front knee, stretching that back heel again. And then lifting the heel so that we have our crescent pose. And releasing the heel back down. Let's lengthen back into pyramid pose. I am going to start off with the arms rising on an inhale, but you can be doing the one where you're just balancing. I'm going to rise the other arm on the inhale. And exhale, bring it down. And now I'm going to bring it to the balance. So one arm, then the other arm. I'm going to find balance here, Drishti point. And we're just going to take that one more breath. And starting to bring those hands back forward for balance. Rebend the knee, stretch, lift up, and bring it back forward. Ooh, walk it out for a moment. I'm sure you feel stretch, strength, and a whole lot of other stuff back there. You'd think we were in root chakra, but we're here, third eye. Let's take it back. I just want to make sure that we're strengthening and doing that in the backs of our legs because it helps us with falls. So that will be added. Let's have that hip width distance apart. We're just coming into a downward facing dog. You're pulling the hip creases back, softening the knees, and letting the head come between the arms. But right at first, let's have those ears align up with your bicep muscle, which is that top upper muscle of the arm. And then pull back as if you're really trying to pull those hips and glutes back towards a back wall. You'll feel this stretch in the back, in the low back, especially in the mid back. And maybe while you're here, most of the weight is on the heels. I'm lifting my toes. My knees are still soft, but I'm going to sway a little bit. I'm going to try and press one hip at a time. So I'm pushing back here, and then I'm kind of relaxing, releasing. Then I'm going to push back with my other hip. It's really not a lot. It's just a little bit. And then come back forward, setting my toes back down into the ground where I have a little bit of grip, softening my knees. And then let's start to inhale, lift the head, and walk back towards our chair. All right, from there, if we have a little bit here, let's go ahead and just move the chair aside for a moment. We're just going to come into a few more standing type of exercises. Let's keep our hip width distance apart and soft knees. Inhale, bring it up. We're just going to do a half sun salutation. Let's exhale, palms together, hands to heart. Inhale, take it up, keep those knees soft. Exhale, forward fold, which just again is hinging from the hips. So if you're in your chair, you know what forward fold looks like. You're just coming closer to the legs. Now while the knees are soft, hands in front, inhale to the half back. Now from tail to crown, I am lengthened. My hands are here. We're going to come into monkey pose. So what monkey pose looks like from there, I'm pressing. I'm going to look forward and expand through my chest, send my shoulders back. That's monkey pose. Then exhale back into forward fold, releasing. And this time, inhale into a half back without monkey. So you're looking down, but you're going to exhale into a slight chair. So I have my knee hands right above my knees. I'm looking down at my toes and starting to set my glutes just a little bit back. Now it's not very far. I have stability. Let's press into those knees. Gently come up to an inhale. Bring it all the way up. And exhale, palms together, hands to heart. All right, made it through one half sun salutation. So we're actually getting ready for Shavasana. It is time to get ready for Shavasana. So welcome yourself to somewhere's more comfortable. It just went so fast. I looked at the time and I'm like, oh, no time to sit back down. I ain't got time.
I think so,
All right, so all of us here are getting ready for Shavasana. And that is where I decided to do Yoga Nidra, which is a wonderful practice to help us relax, to help us settle, to help us come back to our bodies and our minds. So right now, all I want you to do is just get ready. Hello, John Millsap, if I'm saying it right. Millsap and Erin Childers. Nice to see you from Florida. Hello. It's nice to see all you guys. Thank you for coming, and those that also show up later on a recording. All right, so as we get nice and comfortable here, you could be in a chair sitting with me. You could be lying back on easy chair or a couch or the floor, and just really letting your back settle. So what you're looking for is relaxation. If you're in a chair with me, go ahead and let the chin dip just a little. This helps the back of the neck lengthen. It also helps the mind relax. So even if we're lying down somewhere where we're on a flat surface and our head is back, maybe being supported or not, we want to be able to just draw that chin just a little bit down towards that neck space so that we feel the length of the neck. And we might even, if we're laying down, feel the back of the head pressure right there. You want to be able to relax the shoulders. I like to open the arms with my palms facing up, telling the body that we are ready to receive. Then you're relaxing with openness and allowing the hips even to be open by allowing the legs to be open. So even while sitting in a chair, I'll open the legs, soften my knees, and let my feet be open as if I'm in the real Shavasana form on the ground. If you're supporting a low back, whether it be an injury or just a little bit of weakness or not feeling so great, you can always keep the low back on the ground and rise your feet or your knees above the hips, which means your legs are over the top of a chair, over the top of a couch, as the knees are right above the hips, which is causing the low back to relax and the pelvis to relax. If you don't have that support of a couch or chair in front of you, you can always bring knees coming into center, and the soles of the feet, they are towards the outside, are further out as the knees move into center. That's another option. Let's go ahead and just find ourselves starting to soften and close our eyes. We've created this space for ourselves so that we can relax into it. Allow yourself to feel supported. Supported by the earth beneath you or the object beneath or behind you. And as you find this relaxation, this support that you need for the body, let's take one finger and gently start to tap right between the brows and above the bridge of the nose. It's just a light tapping here. And every time you tap, you're bringing in moonlight or a soft white light that is just like the moonlight. And you're tapping that light into the third eye space, into the pineal gland shaped like a small pine cone. Every tap bringing in light. Imagining the soft glow of moonlight on a clear night. Here we imagine the mind opening to the limitless night sky that appears to go on forever, recognizing the infinite and vast opportunities that are always present. Now gently release that tapping as you continue to imagine the limitless night sky. Stillness and one focus in a particular direction long enough allows you to see patterns emerge into meaning. Now allow yourself to settle down into deeper states of relaxation. Repeating our Sankalpa. I am receptive and open to the infinite possibilities. I am receptive and open to the infinite possibilities. I am receptive and open to the infinite possibilities. And just taking a moment to relax the mind, relax the body, as this opens you to these possibilities. Bringing your attention to the third eye space between the brows, imagining that soft glow of moonlight, as if it is emanating from this point and slowly spreading throughout the body, starting in the mind's eye, the pineal gland, center of the mind, softening from the crown of your head and gently releasing through the face, allowing your jaw to relax. The forehead feels smoothed and relaxed. The neck and throat release as you feel the breath gently moving through that space, releasing down into the center of the chest. And with this breath, the shoulders relax on the exhales. The upper arms begin to relax as you release into both elbows, lower arms, both wrists, hands, and all 10 fingers. This soft glow of moonlight relaxes you, connecting you to your inner wisdom. As you notice the support beneath you, allowing your upper back to relax, the chest to release, and allowing the rib cage to soften. With the breath, the mid-back relaxes. The abdomen is soft and flowing with breath. As this breath moves all the way down into the low back, you feel a relaxation and a gentle release at the lower back and the pelvis region, allowing your breath to release any remaining tension, allowing yourself to surrender into this soft moonlight glow. Continue to allow this soft moonlight to stream through the body as it relaxes, relaxing the hips, relaxing the upper legs, healing energy moving through the knees, softening and releasing through the lower legs, allowing the ankles to relax and the feet to relax. All 10 toes releasing. Allowing your whole body to emanate this soft moonlight as it soothes your senses, allowing you to awaken to the deepest parts of your consciousness, finding your breath, breathing evenly and deeply. Now visualizing this moonlight glow as a gentle wave washing over you, washing over your mind, clearing away any doubts, fears, or distractions. Feeling the light nurture your ability to see beyond the physical, opening the door to deeper understanding and spiritual insight. And now focusing in the third eye space. Releasing any tension that you have found within the third eye space, or any tension you have found anywhere. Taking deep breaths to release and relax tension, blockages, and anything that holds back, allowing it to release. And now you're imagining the soft tapping sensation that we started out with. Visualizing this time the tapping between the brows. And with this, you're also visualizing a feather is slightly brushing against the third eye. And with every tap, you bring in clarity and insight as it is being infused into the third eye space. And as you visualize this tapping, this gentle tapping, yet profound, allowing yourself to awaken to the deepest parts of your consciousness, as you allow yourself to be completely immersed in this experience, bringing a sense of peace, a sense of expansiveness, resting in this space of openness and receptivity, as you allow the insights and intuitions to flow to you effortlessly, just like the breath flowing through the body. Allowing yourself to savor this moment of tranquility and connection as you begin to take deeper breaths of awareness, bringing awareness back to the mind, awareness back to the body. And as you breathe deeper, we're coming back to our original intention, our sankalpa for today. I am receptive and open to the infinite possibilities. I am receptive and open to the infinite possibilities. I am receptive and open to the infinite possibilities. And just finding the breath as you move these words through the mind and body. Taking deeper breaths and allowing movement now in the fingers and toes. Allowing movement in the head and neck. And as we find greater movement, we can take that stretch overhead. And maybe if you're on the ground or on a couch, you can give yourself a hug with knees into chest. If you happen to be in a chair with me, maybe you just give yourself a hug with hands wrapped around the shoulders. Either way, giving ourselves a hug as we gently rock side to side. And if we're on the ground, we can move to one side or the other in our fetal position. Maybe take a moment there, take a breath to seal the practice in, to seal those words. And then gently release that as we press our way back up, coming all the way back up. Thank you, everyone, for moving through Yoga Nidra and yoga. Yoga Nidra is complete. Om Shanti Shanti. Peace, peace be with you for this weekend. Have a wonderful weekend. Drink plenty of water. Thank you, Paula, Jerry, Connie, Anna, and Kathy. Hi, Kathy. Just escaped my tongue for a moment. Have a wonderful weekend, John and Aaron as well, and those of us that join us online. We'll see you next time, next week.
Thank you.